See if my things work. Okay, good. It is.
Oh, you've got the
Okay, you may begin. So when I was toying around with what I should talk about today, I was thinking, okay, what could I talk about? And I thought this would be a good educational experience for everybody to share what I learned going to the Shared Services Conference in Orlando 2 weeks ago. And I didn't know shared services was a thing. It really is. You know, I'm in ESS. I thought that, you know, we just had our shared services organization. Well, it turns out that pretty much every company these days, either for a long time or some very newly created shared service organizations, everybody has one. And this was like a huge conference that there were just a lot of different people came, a lot of different speakers. You can see that this shared services outsourcing network hosts big conferences like this all over the globe. And pretty much like monthly, there's, you know, some big thing going on somewhere. So there's all these different departments that you can have shared services for. And then the different terms that I learned about are business process outsourcing. That's where basically people outsource these shared services to other companies because these companies specialize in doing that, and they can do it maybe faster or cheaper or better just because they specialize in that. You have global business services where you're doing this on a global scale. We're more domestic. And then this last part is robotic process automation. So this was one of the main things that I took away from this conference is that the robots are here. So where you think about a robot on a manufacturing line actually taking something and screwing or drilling something into this place over here, robots are actually going to be performing these functions on the finance and accounting side now. So they are going to be taking over jobs, and it's going to be a way for us to become more efficient in the future. And the way that they do this is basically they call themselves ERP agnostic, right? Where we have SAP, other ones could have Oracle or Deltek or whatever it is, CostPoint, and it doesn't matter. So where in the past, here you would take your ERP that you have and you'd say, well, we need to change it this way. Hey, IT department, I need this done. They go ahead and they put in like a work order proposal. It's going to take this many hours, yada, yada, yada. Now they have robotic process automation where it's going to work with the existing data as it is and basically spit it out however you want it to be spit out, or it's going to compare data different ways. Basically, it's going to take people where in the past these people were maybe, basically it says anything you can set a rule to, that these programs can basically apply those rules to large sets of data and large sets of transactions. And where you have somebody like, let's say in an AP or an AR department today, keying in this information, now you can take those people, put them on the back end where after you've gone through and done an initial 70%, this is just like implementing this. 70% is automated processing where it's just done through this computer program. Then you take those 30% and you have them on the back end, figure out what went wrong and fix it and put it through that way. It can even, you know, read images now. So these programs are getting very smart and very intelligent. So the key takeaway is have a skill. If you are just processing, this is going to be, you know, dangerous for you. If you are able to bring something, some analysis, some skill to the table, some kind of qualifications, you're going to be fine. Okay. A lot of good speakers were here at this conference. You know, the main thing that this speaker, Melissa Miller from Anthem, was talking about was that she's saying demonstrating value in your department is about being active, proactive, and not passive. Show people how you can help them out. Don't say, how can I help you? What can I do for you? I'm here for you. No, show them what you can bring to the table and, you know, and put that out there and tell people how you can help them. Next. Facebook, I thought this was cool. There was a guy from Facebook there. Their HR department, they call them the peeps. So call HR, call the peeps, and a new hire and the newbie is a noob. And so that's kind of fun. They've got their own different culture there. McLaren Formula One. So this guy was there, and you can't see it, but that screen says attention to detail, and that's what McLaren is all about. They pride themselves in their attention to detail. I think that carries over to any professional setting where they do this and they show this often having a pristine garage, and that's not their business. Their business is racing and winning races, but this pristine garage that they have is kind of a beacon of light of how they perform, how they run their business, the kind of the standards that they have for what they do, and it shows it shows everybody that they are the best of the best. And if you can also put your best foot forward and pay attention to detail, I think that will do well for you professionally as well. This person from it was a healthcare provider in Ohio. A lot of good things. His main point was treat yourself, even though if you're internal like we are, treat yourself like an outsourcer, because at some point in time an outsourcer may come along and say that we can do your job cheaper. So don't take it for granted that you're part of the company. After all this, what was the big takeaways? One, the robots. Two, your identity, right? Think about for your department, what do you do better than anybody else? Because I think that's your competitive advantage. And put that out there as your identity and share it with everybody and make that a known thing. I think something for shared services in Northrop Grumman, what we have to work on, and what's kind of a tough thing that we have to deal with, is we don't build anything. We deal in spreadsheets, we deal in relationships, we deal in accounting. So whereas you have something like this, if you're a part of AS, you say, wow, we built the cool E2D. What shared services does is we deal in spreadsheets. So are we going to get excited about making spreadsheets simple and easy to understand, and summarizing stuff and automating schedules? That's the thing that we have to, for what we do, we have to get excited about that, because that is our business. So to wrap it up, have some top 3 takeaways. Actually, this is 4 takeaways here, but have a final slide. Everybody had one of those at the conference. Robots and the identity. So last thing, fight ball. I learned about that. If you haven't heard about it, look it up. It's a cool new sport. And if you're ever in Orlando or South Beach, this is my business partner here that we went to this conference together. We're pointing to Mangoes here. Go to Mangoes. It's pretty fun.
Oh my God. Wait.